Junkies.
Just let that beat hit you for a minute. You know what I mean? Just let that beat hit you. Yeah. What? All right, what's up? What's up, golf addicts? DB here. We're ready to have a good time tonight. It's the Valspar 2022 DraftKings Picks and Preview Show. We're going to have fun tonight. I'm on one. Pat's on one. Let's get to it. We're going to get right into the approach this week for, playing DraftKings, playing some GPPs, winning some big cash. We had, a listener win $1 million. $1 million. Our boy David Kotler scored 523.5 points and won $1 million. That's pretty sick. Good job to you, David Kotler, as well as Nut Hut Listener League winner Woodshed Drew. Scored 484.5 points. That's also good. Hey, before we get into this, though, I forgot this in the last show. We got some Masters t-shirts to give away, and we need you to comment right here on the YouTube channel. We got some XLs and some larges left. They're in the wrapper, dude. Look at this. This is mint. Now that's a 2020 Augusta National Golf Club Masters shirt from that weird year, and you can't get these everywhere. That's a weird year. You wear that shirt, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, dang, was that the one in November?" You're like, "Yeah." So we got some of these to give away, some XLs and some larges. If you're one of those boys, put a comment in the YouTube channel. Comment with your Twitter and or your Instagram handle in the YouTube channel, in the YouTube comments. That's what we need. Do that right now. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a subscribe if you don't mind. We appreciate it. If you're watching live on YouTube, wait and comment till the video is over. We're going to pick a few random suckers, and we're going to send you a Masters t-shirt. How about that, Daddy? I'm excited about that. Pat, as always, good to see you, sir. I'm sipping on that tequila and soda. I refilled, so by the end of tonight, we should be good and ready, and the DraftKings After Dark show should be real good. In fact, last week it was so good, I forgot we did it.
Yeah, you were at my house, and the next morning you said, Pat, we forgot to do DraftKings After Dark. And I said, and now this is highly unusual for me to be the one that was cognizant of things.
Yeah.
And I said, no, we did it, DB. Yeah, we did it. Do you remember? And he went and checked and he saw it. He was like, oh yeah, we did do that. But it was still good. It was still good. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think you would have forgotten, but whatever.
Yep. It was one of those nights. We had a great week last week at the Players Championship, Pat. The Players was interesting. It was interesting. Cam Smith, I posted the clip about me going all against Cam Smith. We talked about that on the betting show. It is what it is. We don't need to belabor that. But one of the big things that happened, and I think this is something we sit on here for just a second, was the weather wave. There was the weather wave, and people were thinking that the weather was going to do one thing, and guess what? The weather did something else, which sometimes the weather can do. Or sometimes one weather app can tell you one thing, and another weather app over here can tell you a different thing. Did you know that there are weather apps that specialize in, wind, and some that don't? Like, it can happen. It's a real thing. So I think it's a good time to remind people, and we said this in the Nut Hut on Wednesday night in the live chat. We're never full, even when we feel a big advantage, which a lot of times a big advantage will happen like at the Open Championship, and it might be a stroke, right? Or a stroke and a half. Like this was a 3.5 stroke advantage on average at the Players this week. It was absolute carnage for the PMAM guys. But even when we feel like there's a big advantage, we always say, like, if you're doing multiple entries, like, stack the other side as well in case something weird happens, in case the weather guy's wrong, in case something else happens, or it just all flips on its head and you messed it up. You always stack the other side. So if you did a bunch of PMAM lineups last week, you needed to do some AM/PM lineups last week to help do offset some of that. And then the rest of them, you just kind of mix and match whatever. You play your favorite plays and you play your player pool as is. So I think it's a good thing to remind ourselves that when we're playing in DFS, we gotta remember that you never go full send to one of the weather waves. Never.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've never been one that's huge on, going all in just based off the weather. I mean, my first thought is, all right, I'm going to play the guys that I like. If there is a huge weather advantage and, I can definitely see that happening, then maybe I'll go off of a guy and pivot to another one. but I just never want to let that dictate everything I do. And like you said, if you want to take that route and you want to go all in on one side of the weather, then you got to go the other way a little bit. You got to hedge it a little bit because otherwise you're just, you're going to be totally dead. But I
Yep.
think too, like over like here, like when you're at the Open Championship, everybody like knows that there's going to be a weather advantage for the most part, and like it's not always that way, but I feel like they pay attention to that the weather people over there a little more than like our folks here aren't paying attention much to the golf tournament.
So
I
you're
feel like
attacking the weather people right now?
I feel like the weather people here are not golfers. Whereas over in the Open Championship areas, over in the GB&I and that area, and in those in Scotland and Ireland, I think the weather people play golf. I don't think they play golf over here. I don't think the weather people in Ponte Vedra were playing golf
Weather
last week.
people in the US apparently are strictly indoor sports people.
They
They're
don't
basketball, they're
they
ping
don't care
ponging.
about golfers.
Yeah.
No. Because you can even look at the radar and see that there was some it wasn't going to be as what they were saying. I'm tired. I don't want to. I used to do the weather a long time ago, and
Oh, you're a
you
big weather.
fired me from that. You fired me from doing the weather, so I'm not going to get into it. But all I'm saying is the overreaction to the weather
Yeah.
is crazy to me.
Yeah, lesson learned. I think it was a good time to take some of that time up front to get into a little theory stuff, a little strategy stuff for DFS because it's a different ball game. It's something to consider. Um, as always, presented to you by our friends at FantasyNational.com, the place to go for stats, for lineup optimizers, lineup builders. Run your models, look at recent hit form, look at course history, run all the stats. It's the best stat engine around. It really is. Um, all the data is straight from the PGA Tour, licensed from the PGA Tour and shot link data. We've been using Fantasy National for 4+ years now. They're the best. If you've not joined Fantasy National, I don't understand what you're doing, and I don't believe that you're profitable in DFS or golf betting of any kind. So go to fantasynational.com/TJ and get yourself 20% off any level membership you want. Weekly, monthly, or annual memberships are available. If you sign up for the weekly or monthly membership and you want to upgrade to something more long term, you still get to keep the 20% off since you sign up using the promo code or the URL fantasynational.com/TJ. Tell them the Tour Junkies sent you. It's where we go, and all the stats that we reference are straight off of fantasynational.com. All right, Pat. Kind of looking at this event, right? I just I want to talk a little bit about the approach here because for me, I started to pick this apart and go, this might be one of those weeks where, depending on how ownership and all that stuff shakes out, I could see myself fading the 10K and above range altogether. This might be one of those balanced weeks, and it's felt like in weeks recent that it hasn't necessarily been one of those. But I'm starting to think that this could be a little more balanced of a week for me. I am also a big fan, and we'll get into the specific picks here in a little bit. I'm a big fan of the 8K range. And I think in terms of chalk, I'm probably going to eat some chalk in the 8K range and then pivot elsewhere. I really like how the leverage in the low sevens, mid sevens kind of looks. I think there's a lot of names down there that a lot of people will feel similarly about, and ownership's going to kind of be spread out between a handful of those guys. You can kind of play the ones you want. I'm excited about that, but I'm thinking that the early thoughts right now, and we're recording this on a Tuesday night because pricing didn't get out on time, um, are going to lead me to a more balanced approach. Have you thought about that at all, line of construction, or what are you looking at?
Yeah, I agree. I think that I probably will lean towards more of a balanced approach this week. When you look at just this field, and how like there's not a lot of 6K guys that I really like fell onto when I'm doing my research. There's just not a whole lot there. I think if anything, I'm gonna, kind of live in that, low to mid 9K range with some 7K guys. And then I agree that the 8K range does have a lot of good plays in here that made it hard for me to kind of pinpoint. And that's kind of a good thing to me when I'm doing research and I'm like, okay, well, I know for the show I've got to pinpoint, in the 8K range, 2 GPP plays, 1 fade. And when it gets hard for me to do that, I'm like, okay, well, that means that the range for me this is a good range that you could really go a lot of different routes. So, but we try to be very
Yeah.
specific on our plays. And the same with the 7K range. There's a lot of guys there that I like too. So I think balance is probably going to be the way to go this week. That does not mean, though, that I will say that I'm completely fading over 10K because there's one guy in there that I love. So
Yeah, I mean, there's some names up there that are drawing my attention for sure. So we can get into that here. Let's start talking about it here. 9K and above range. We're gonna try to look at 3 GPP plays for you. Give you one of those. Give you a fade, and I'm gonna give you a cash play as well. I don't know if Pat will give you a cash play, but Team
I
DB
got a
will do
cash in
that.
here.
Team DB gives you cash plays every week. Let's remember that. Why don't we remember that?
Oh, no.
Let's look at the 9K and above range. All right. So you got Justin Thomas leading it off at 11K. Victor Hovland at 10.8. DJ played well last week, 10.2. Shane Lowry played well, 9.7. Sam Burns, defending champ here at the Copperhead course at the Innisbrook Resort. Brooks Koepka, Brooks Cupcake is here trying to find some form still at 9,400. Matt Fitzpatrick down there at 9,000. Now, if you're wondering where the course breakdown is, I do want to remind people that from now on, the course breakdown occurs separately, and it's on the YouTube channel. You can check it out. I do about a 15-minute or less course breakdown, everything you need to know, nothing you don't from a betting or DFS perspective. It's here. It's up usually Sunday night or Monday at the latest, and it's also on the podcast feed. So you can check that out. We're not going to get into that here tonight. But as we look at the top of the board, Pat, I want to give you a guy that I don't want. First of all, I'm gonna go off on a guy right now. Can I do that? Can I have permission to go off
Yeah.
on a guy?
Permission to do whatever it is you're about to do.
Uh, this guy has played here one time. He missed the cut. Whatever. I mean, I'm gonna talk about another guy who's played here one time and missed the cut. But I'm just telling you that because I'm also talking about the fade. Terrell Hatton at $9,800. I'm out on, and I was thinking about it today. I was doing the live first odds look reaction show on YouTube, and it just hit me. I remembered yesterday watching the golf tournament, and I'm scrolling Twitter, and I see a viral post of Terrell Hatton. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, I'm sure he's throwing a temper tantrum somewhere. And sure enough, here's Terrell Hatton, Skynet or Sky Sports or whatever it is over there in the UK that do a much better job of covering golf than anybody here in stateside. They caught Terrell Hatton lipping out a putt and saying the F bomb, just Q hole, just F bomb in the hole. And I'm like, oh dang, look at Hatton being Hatton. Like that's what he does. Ha ha. He. I kind of laughed a little bit. And then as the day went on, I'm like, wow, Terrell's playing well. I wonder how he's doing it. And I go and I look at his stats. Pat, you know what his stats say that he did? You know what his stats say
I
he did?
have a feeling you're going to tell us.
Well, on his way to finishing 13th of the players, did he gain any strokes tee to green? No, he didn't. He was very, very poor. He gained 8.4 strokes putting, and that is on the back of gaining 8 at the Arnold Palmer. This man has gained 16.4 strokes putting in 2 events, and he's going bloody fuck off to the hole. Just because he lipped out the one putt that he didn't make all freaking week. One putt. And he's fuck off. Snapping his putter over his knee. He didn't do that, but he probably thought about it. And I'm like, what? And this is after I watched Sunday what happens to poor Paul Casey. Poor
Paul Casey.
I mean, god dang it. He literally hit it. He hit it so straight down 16. He said after the fact, in fact, he had a very, very, just very beautiful, very respectful, very honorable post-round interview where he was just a total classy gentleman, where he just, he didn't piss and moan and gripe, and he just said that them's the breaks, kind of. He didn't really say that, but he said something like that. He had a great attitude about it. But the guy, he also said he flushed it. Said it was the best drive he hit all week on the 16th hole in contention, and the ball goes straight down the fairway. It takes a big hop, and right as it's coming to stop, and it goes bloop, bloop, bleep, bloop, 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 bleep, bloop, bloop. It lands in the pitch mark of another man's ball. The pitch mark, not the divot, not the large sandy pitch mark. The divot. It just goes beeble bobble leave it bubble. And it lands in the ball size pitch mark in the middle of a 30-yard fairway.
It was really one of the most unlucky
It
things I've
was
ever
the
seen.
worst break I've ever seen on the golf course. Does
He
he
could
go,
not even hit it like below the equator of the golf ball. He
there
had
was
no
no chance.
yeah.
Does he walk up to his ball and go, "Boy, oh, boy, fuck off, you divot. You pitch mark, you divot. Fuck off, bloody." Does he do that? No, he doesn't do that. Does he go off on the reporter after? No, he doesn't do that. But Terrell Hatton gaining 8.5 strokes putting, which is a Christmas miracle for anyone. I don't care if you're one of the best putters in the world. To go flipping off the bloody hole is ridiculous. Stop it. I'm done. I'm fading him for that. I am trusting in the gods, the golf gods, to bring regression down on poor Terrell Hatton. Bring regression down. I want him.
I don't want to say poor Terrell Hatton. I want to say like spoiled Terrell Hatton.
What do you want? Are you pissed that you didn't gain 9.4? That bloody 14-footer cost me another stroke putting. I could have gained 9.4. You know? What are we
Now you
doing?
sound a little Australian.
I got in a little Aussie there, yeah.
Yeah.
My default is Aussie. When I go to that, I go to
Yeah.
Aussie. All right, I'm done. What was I doing?
I don't have that much compassion for the guy that I'm fading this week. But anyway, go into your plays because that was
Oh,
just
I
your
gotta do
pick.
those? All right.
Yeah, you got to do your plays.
I mean, I think there's gonna be some I don't know, man. So I think the chalk here is gonna be Hovland, Louis, Lowry, and maybe Burns. I think that's going to be the kind of chalk here. I'm interested to see what people are going to do with Fitzpatrick. So I like Fitzpatrick. I like it. Talked about him on the betting show. Wrong side of the draw. Missed the cut by 2 shots. Playing great leading up to that. I love Fitzy here. He played here, I think, one time. Missed the cut. Don't care. Great ball striker. Everything's going well for him. So I like Fitzy. I'm interested in JT's ownership. We'll see. We'll see how. I'm not so in love with a lot of the 6K guys. If I can fall in love with some 6K guys, then I may play some JT. I really like JT here. And I think he's gonna go low. And then other than that, it's probably Lowry or Louis, whichever one's lower owned. I don't know. So that's it for me. And the cash play, I'm starting a cash lineup. Definitely going very balanced with a cash lineup, and it's gonna be Fitzpatrick. I'm done. I'm stressed out and I'm done.
Okay, I actually my fade is Fitzpatrick. And you are all in. This is a total opposite. Like maybe we have to bring up the betting wheel for something here.
What? Why would you
Because
fade Fitzpatrick? Did he
I
flip
don't
off a hole and I missed it?
I don't
Did he
like
flip off the weather? Did he look at the lightning bolt and go,
no, but
"Bloody,
look, there's a
bloody"?
couple things that I don't like here. For one is you got to hit the greens out here, and if you do miss them, you got to scramble. All right, and now while he is a decent scrambler of the golf ball, he misses a ton of greens, and I don't care. You can't just make pars, and he's 110th in the field also, and this is a stat that I like: proximity from 175 to 200 yards. You mentioned this on the betting show. You don't necessarily like that specific stats, but you do like the fact that you do have to hit good long iron shots. He's not really that great there when you look there. His greens in regulation, he's 89th in the field in greens in regulation. And I just think Fitzpatrick at 9,000, especially if he's high owned, like if he's got a little bit of high ownership to him, I'm going to fade him. I
Dude,
just
all right,
I don't believe in Fitzpatrick. And
we
then
haven't
last
spun
week,
the
I know
betting
he
wheel
got
in a
the
while.
bad
We
end
need
of
to
the
spin it.
draw. The what?
We haven't spun the betting wheel in a while. We need to spin it. Why don't we just do an over under on this finish position or something?
No, I think we need to do because
A head to head?
I think we need to do a head to head.
Do you
Because
like
I
that
have
one?
a guy that you faded on, you didn't like, that I think will finish higher than Fitzpatrick, and
Or are
that's
you gonna
Sam
go Burns?
Burns.
Yeah, but my basis for the Burns fade is very it's very shaky, Pat. It's just shaky. And it's like it's more like what I
I
saw with
mean, you
my
sounded pretty
eyeballs.
confident about it
Oh,
on the
dude,
betting show.
I could sell ice to an Eskimo, brother. But I'm just saying, like, It's what I saw with my eyes with Sam Burns on Sunday, and that it felt like he was fighting it a little bit. That's all it was. But I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I feel like I need to be It needs to be handicapped a little bit.
No, I don't know about that. So that's why you're trying to put finish position on it.
I mean, you're taking the defending. I forgot about that. What are we talking about? You're taking the defending champion and a guy who's won multiple times on the PGA Tour versus Fitzpatrick coming off a miscut
I know.
here in his one start.
Well, if you
And
like
not
him
no
that much,
PGA
he's a
Tour wins.
cash play. He's a cash play. He's this and that. Whatever. We
He is a
love some
cash play.
Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put my betting wheel risk at stake for this. This is an unfair matchup. Unless you handicap it, or I say we do an over-under on Fitzpatrick's finish position, and then that way you're cheering for Fitzpatrick to suck, and I'm cheering for Fitzpatrick to do
So
well.
where would you initially put his over under on?
I mean, I think he's a lock for a top 20, and that's why I put him as a cash play.
Okay, see, I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
A top 20? How much of a fade is he if you can't even bet that he's not going to finish outside the top 20?
I mean, he's a fade because I don't. But top 20 is too. Like I would say top. I'll go like top 30. Here's another one. I like
Okay,
it. Well,
perfect.
here, I'll give my. Let
Okay,
me go ahead and
perfect.
give
I
my
think he
plays.
finishes better than 30th, and you think he finishes worse.
Let me go with my
Perfect.
plays that I
Done.
like, and
Spin
maybe
the wheel,
you'll.
Sam. Spin the wheel.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that, Sam.
Spin the wheel,
Don't see Sam. This is Sam again.
the
Once again, trying to favor his boy DB because he hates
I
Pat.
said 20th, and you said 30th. What, are you having a blonde moment? Do you understand how this works? You're fading him, and you went the wrong direction.
Wait, what are you talking about?
You're saying he finished. You put the over under at 30. That's easier for me to hit. I'm taking the under because I'm for Matt Fitzpatrick. So yes, I will take the 30.
Oh, you'll take the 30. Okay, all right. So he has to finish better than 30th.
Yes.
No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. No, I'm not doing that.
What is going on? Are you? I don't know.
Okay, let me get another beer.
Sam, hang tight. We're gonna figure this out. Oh God.
Sam, I don't like how you just.
Why can't you do a 20? Why can't you just said a 30? You can't even do a 20, a top 20 bet? Meanwhile, you want to bet me the defending champ and multiple PGA Tour winner Sam Burns.
I like the matchup better. I never seem
Okay,
to
well,
get
you got to
these.
give me somebody that's not the defending champ or named Sam Burns.
How about this? All right, then let's talk about the plays I do like. I would actually take, if you want to take this one, how about this? I'll take Abraham Answer over Fitzpatrick.
Done. Spin the wheel, Sam. This is what we have. We have fat suit golf, meaning you have to play. I don't know what that is. We got to do something to record it in a fat suit. We have.
I have the fat suit. It's literally in front of me right now. I can see it.
Spicy pepper, Jaeger bomb, Applebee's TikTok. Applebee's TikTok dance, Rocky Mountain oysters. God, please, God, don't let me have that. Double ranch water shot. Eat shrimp from Denny's. What is magic show? I forget. What do we have to do for magic show? Do we have to go to a magic show? We have to do a magic show. What do we have to do, Sam? What is this?
You have to learn a magic trick.
Learn a magic trick.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and that is permanently on the wheel now because I screwed up.
All right, so we're doing head to head.
Sharpie.
Yeah,
Fitzpatrick versus Abraham Answer.
Yeah. So best finish position, tiebreaker being DraftKings points. That's how we normally do it.
All right.
All right. Spin the wheel. Jeez, gosh, don't. I don't like any. So loud. Where is that? I can't see this handle. We can't see the handle. Jaeger bomb?
Applebee's TikTok dance.
Another TikTok.
This is gonna end up being me. Damn it. This is gonna end up.
I don't even know what that dance is. I gotta look that up. All right, another
it's
TikTok.
this is country singer.
I know the song, but I don't know what the dance is. Yeah. Fancy like Applebee, that whole thing. I know that, but I don't know what the dance.
Stupid.
Okay. We're way long into the show, and we've not even gotten out of the 9K range. All right, finish up your picks. I hate Abraham Answer. Keep going.
Okay, I like Abraham Answer. I like Sam Burns. Already mentioned that. I'm fading Fitzy. And then I'm a huge fan of Victor Hovland this week. I mean, look, Victor Hovland, he made an even bigger fan out of me by the whole thing with Berger and Joel last week. I
I
mean,
did not see him as the guy that was going to like really force the issue there, but he was like standing his ground.
yeah, he was. I mean, for a young guy on tour, you would think that he might be like, kind
Well,
of like,
not even that. Like he just seems like the nicest guy on the planet. He's got like the baby
yeah.
face and every.
But
Yeah.
the way he went about it, I think it was the way you do it. I mean, he was like, "Look, if you feel strongly about something, I'm going to protect the field, and I'm going to, I'm not just going to back down." And I love that about him. But if you look at like the amount of number ones that you see for his stats recently are incredible. He's number one in approach in this field, number one in proximity, 175 to 200 yards, number one in par five scoring, number one in ball striking, number one in greens and regulation. I mean, everything across the board for Victor Hovland sets up well. And he finished, T3 here last year. I love him at 10-8. He is my favorite play in this range. And this is the reason that I'm not going to completely fade over 10K is because I want to go Victor Hovland. I don't care what his ownership is. If he's going to be high owned, then whatever. I'll just go all in on Victor Hovland in every single lineup.
Okay. There you have it. Hey, we need to talk quickly before we move on to the 8K range about the golf event in September. We talked about this on the betting show. The live golf event in September is going to be lit. All right. It's going to be lit. And we are so excited for the response that we've already gotten. There's a few things we want to mention to people, though. You can bring friends. You can bring friends. They do not have to be listeners to the Tour Junkies. We'll convert them. They don't have to be listeners. You can bring friends. We had somebody sign up. They're bringing 3 friends for the Saturday event. That's their 4-man scramble team. It's great stuff. So you can do that. Please do that. For the 2-day ticket, the Friday and Saturday ticket. So Friday is the big, like that's the VIP party. You know what I mean? Is 22 players on each team. Team DB, Team Pat. So it's 44 of you, me and Pat, the Tour Junkies family, having lunch Friday, play an 18-hole match play event, Team DB versus Team Pat, having dinner Friday night and partying Friday night with me and Pat and the TJ fam, producer Sam, all that stuff. Now, that event, once they're sold, they're sold. We opened it up, we extended it some more spots, and those are starting to go. Here's how it stands today. Team Pat has 5 spots left. That's it. 5 spots. When they're gone, they're gone. I have 9 spots left. So I need some help, people. I need some help. I need to fill my team. When those 9 and those 5 are gone, that's it. That's done. We're not opening it up anymore. From that point on, it's Saturday tickets only. All right. So that's your Team DB versus Team Pat matchup. The Saturday tickets, we still have roughly like 90 or 100 of those left. It's a 36-hole golf course, Mountain Valley in Barnesville, Pennsylvania, 36-hole country club and golf course. Beautiful spot, great spot. You're going to be able, if you're looking for a place to stay, you got options. You can bring a tent and you can camp out on the range for free. You can bring an RV or a camper, pull it up in the parking lot, free. We also have a section of rooms blocked off at a hotel about 3 miles away. Those are at a discounted rate. When those are gone, they're gone. So you need to go to Eventbrite and book your ticket right now. The link is in the description of the YouTube video and the description of this podcast. Do that quickly. 5 spots left on Pat's team, 9 spots left on my team, and then we're on to just the Saturday ticket. All your tickets, Friday and Saturday, include both lunch and dinner for Friday and lunch and dinner on Saturday. It includes beer, wine, and specialty Tour Junkies cocktails. It's going to be a great time. And we're going to party both nights. So even if you come on Saturday, it's going to be great. It's going to be an all-day thing. We're going to eat lunch. We're going to play golf. We're going to have a party. There's going to be music. There's going to be food, drinks, great time, and possibly some shenanigans even after that. So it's just going to be the best time ever. You're not going to want to miss this event. So make it happen. September 23rd and 24th in Barnesville, Pennsylvania. At Mountain Valley. But, the reason we're having it there is Mountain Valley is just beautiful, number one, and they're being so good to us. Yeah. So shout out to those folks for making that happen. You need to sign up.
How far away are the Quakers from Barnesville?
That would be a producer Sam question. I have no idea.
I just want to know.
I don't know. Maybe okay. All right.
There are not a lot of Quakers.
Oh,
wait. How far are the Amish away from Barnesville?
The Amish. There we go.
1 hour.
So we're close. I think you're better. If you're going to fly, you're flying into Allentown, I think is the best one we figured out, or Scranton. But I think it's Allentown is the best one to fly into. All right. that's the live golf event. Let's get to the 8K range, Pat. I love this range on DraftKings. This is where I see me having some chalk on my face because I'm gonna eat a little bit here. I think the chalk is gonna wind up being Norin. It's gonna wind up being Keegan and potentially HV3 and Russell Knox. I think all four of those names are gonna be popular here, but I love all four of them. I really do. I like all four of them. I may go with the lowest owned. You got you also have Bubba up here who has played well at the Valspar before and showed a little form this past weekend despite being on the wrong end of the weather draw. Kevin Kisner, who played well this week, he's hopping in there. I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to pick the two lower owned guys of the four I mentioned. I think if you're going to play a cash lineup, I think Alex Noren, which I never thought I'd hear myself say that out loud. I think Alex Noren is a cash play right now. He's playing so well, and the ball striking is there. He plays well on tough tracks, which this is. I like it. I like Russell Knox a lot. Those are probably the two, and Keegan. I like those three the most. I would rank them. I'd probably rank them Noren, Keegan, Knox, Varner are my four favorites. But that's it for me. I'm gonna fade Jason Day. I tried to play him last week, and I don't know. He almost had it. The irons are still terrible, and this is an iron contest. This is like, hey, everybody hit it off the tee to the same place, club down if you have to, and then it's an iron contest. Now, if he misses greens, he can scramble with the best of them, but the irons are still bad. He's miscut here in his only start. I'm out on J Day at 8,900. I won't pay up for him. That's it for me.
All right. Well, a couple for me in here. I love Keegan. I'm with you there. I think Keegan could be a cash play as well. So at 8,400, look, he played well last week. Plays well at this course. So at 8,400, big fan of Keegan Bradley here, and then like you said, the great form as well. I like Alex Noren. I mean,
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of similarities here. I mean, Alex Noren has been playing absolutely fantastic. So I'm a big fan of his this week. My fade is going to be Cameron Tringali at 8,000. I mean,
I'm so scared to fade him.
I just I don't see where we can really, look. He did finish T3 here last year, but missed 3 cuts before that. Has not been playing well recently at all. Even a potential injury. What was it, back at Pebble Beach where we saw, him like
Yeah.
maybe having a little bit of a back injury or something there.
Yeah, but then he
Um,
followed it up with a good finish. I don't
I
know.
know, but he certainly checked some boxes for you here. But I think Tringali could end up with a little bit higher ownership than he should, and I will fade him there at 8,000. My cash would be Keegan actually.
Yeah. All right, that's the AK range. Let's see here. By the way, shout out to Chris Hartz for buying a putter head cover from the Tour Junkies shop just now. Chris Hartz, loyal Nut Hut member, and
Yeah.
he's taking advantage of his 20% off discount, putting Pat to work, shipping some stuff, which is great. We got some new head covers coming in. Actually, I'm excited about that. We got more driver head covers coming. We've got blade putter head covers finally coming. Although we hear they're
Yes.
like 8 weeks away because the world is upside down. But head covers coming. I'm excited about those. So shout out Chris Hart. Anybody that buys some merch during the show, props to you. You're great. All right, Pat. Let's get to the 7K range. A lot of names here. This is where I think we can really differentiate ourselves here. And I like a lot of guys in this range, honestly. I think the only chalk that I really felt like I could nail in this range was maybe Hadwin. I think Hadwin's going to be chalky at 7,900.
Yeah, I like Hadwin though. I'll
Had a
eat it.
great Sunday.
Eat it.
Past champion here at Innisbrook. You got Seabez returning. Sebastian Munoz, who played in the final group on Sunday at 7,600, he's withdrawn, so everybody needs to know that. Brian Harmon's in here. People were big on him last week, and then he missed the cut, I believe. Doug Gim has also withdrawn. You need to know that. Doc Redman, who may be back. We discussed that on the betting show. Who else is in here? Old Denny's. Denny's is here. Sahith.
Thigala.
Thigala. Thigala. Mito. Mito's finally now priced where he should have been priced all along. Joel Damon at 7,100. Your boy Sam Ryder, Kuchar, that kind of crowd here in the 7K range. I'm gonna let you start this one. I started the last couple, so I'm gonna let you go.
Okay. I'll start this range. I just mentioned it. I like Adam Hadwin. I know you said he's going to be chalky, but at 7,900, big fan this week. You mentioned he does have a victory here. You look at the last few weeks. He missed a cut at the Genesis, but had a top 26 at the Waste Management and a top 10 last week. Kind of backdoored that top 10 because he had a really good round on Monday when they finished. And I believe that was on the back nine. It was kind of sneaky. But he did play well. I like Adam Hadwin this week. I think 7,900. He will be a little bit chalky, but I'll take some of that and differentiate myself somewhere else. Another guy I like a little bit lower here at 7,400 is Denny McCarthy. He's a guy that has been in good recent form. He's made 3 out of his last 4 cuts in the last few weeks here. You look at his starts here. He has a top 10 in 2019 and a T39 in 2021. Remember, by the way, we're never going to mention 2020 because they didn't play here, so we just don't have anything to go off. And last year, we haven't really talked about this, but the grass surface was different. They played this course in May versus its normal time in the schedule, which is this week. So the grass was a little bit different. You got a little more overseed right now coming out of winter and all that kind of stuff. So it is a little bit different. But either way, Denny back in 2019 when it played more like it will this year was top 10 and still finished T39 on what is a very tough golf course. So I like him there at 7,400. And then Patton Kazire at 7,200. He is amazing to me with the way he can hit some of the worst shots you've ever seen in your life. But he has
I
played
literally
in,
saw them in real life up
you can
close.
see it. Like Shot Tracker makes his shot. I mean, they show his shots and how bad they can be.
No, but I
And
saw them in person.
yeah, you walked around with him and saw him.
I walked
And you
in the
said in the
ropes.
Nut Hut, you said I will not be playing Patton Kazire. But
I,
he still had a top 25 last week. Which is pretty good for a guy that
yeah,
usually is pretty cheap.
it almost killed a guy in a practice round.
Yeah. But I mean, he really has been playing well this year. I mean, you look at Phoenix, top 10,
Yes.
T61 at the Genesis, T32 at Arnold Palmer, T22 last week. I think Patton Kazire is another good play. This is another good course fit for him. So I like him there at 7,200. If you want a fade from me in this range,
I do.
do you really want that fade, DB?
Give it to me.
I'm fading.
You didn't have it, did you? I mean, we do
No,
this.
I
every
do.
week.
I do. I do. I wanted to ease into it.
7
I wanted
years.
to ease into it. I'm fading Brian Harmon.
By the way, Brian Harmon did make the cut. Mr. Blue tells me in the chat. I guess he was just irrelevant because he finished 63rd. I never saw him.
Brian Harmon made
I
the
didn't
cut,
play
but
any of him.
he whatever. I want more out of Brian Harmon than just making the damn cut. And he's all over the damn place. He just doesn't really. I don't know. Mr. Blue, I feel like I'm not even in the chat, but I feel like Mr. Blue comes into the chat and likes to raise all kinds of hell.
Oh dang! You're just making that assumption on a guy in the chat just randomly?
Yeah, I am.
You're not in the chat?
No, Sam. I can't say what Sam just said, but Sam just verified what I said.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I have a fade, and it's freaking a guy that I love to fade. And most of the time, I think it pays off. Why are people infatuated with Mackenzie Hughes? I don't understand it. I don't. The guy is perennially a bad ball striker. And you're just counting on his luck box putting and his luck box around the green play. He's not Cam Smith. Like, Cam Smith is better than Mackenzie Hughes. With his irons, he's better off the tee. And that's saying something. That's really saying something than Mackenzie Hughes.
I think this is a you problem, to be honest. I think you have a problem with picking him in the right spots, because I seem to pick him in the right spots. Whenever I take him, he does well.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't have good finishes on tour. I mean, I know he's got some of those, but I just feel like the hype, maybe it's because a lot of Canadians play DFS. I feel like there's a lot of Canadians playing DFS. Maybe that's what it is. And I'm sure he's a great guy.
I think he can actually play well on this course.
Okay. Cool. I don't. So he's my fade.
I don't want to bet. One day we could have the rare double bet in the show.
Oh, the
We've never
double
done that
bet?
before. The double wheel spin.
Ooh, all right. Well, let's see if it comes up. I have some agreement here with you, though. I mean, Denny, Kazire. Who was the third name you mentioned? I don't remember. Oh,
Hadwin,
Hadwin. Yeah. I
McCarthy.
mean,
You
Hadwin's going to
mentioned
be chalk. I think Denny's a cash play here for me. I feel that good about Denny. I like him. Um, we'll see what Seabez's ownership ends up being. I don't think Seabez is going to win, but I think Seabez has some top 20. I mentioned him on the betting show. I like Aaron Wise, man. The ball striking is there. He's opposite Mackenzie Hughes. You're counting on him to just be average on the greens. I think Aaron Wise is potentially a pivot. Nick Taylor. I like Nick Taylor. You mentioned him on the betting show. I don't think you mentioned him just now, but you mentioned him on the betting show. Nick Taylor to me is a guy that has a lot of made cut equity, and I make fun of him for being like the T33 machine, which actually, funny enough, last time out at the Arnold Palmer, he finished 32nd. But I mean, Nick Taylor's been solid, dude. Like the dude's just been solid. He just doesn't miss a lot of cuts, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He doesn't make a lot of bogeys. Let's see. He checks the box in bogey avoidance. He's 11th in this field in recent bogey avoidance over the last 50 rounds. Checks the box around the greens. The irons are solid. He actually scores a decent amount of DraftKings points, considering his price is normally in the low 7s or 6K range. Like Nick Taylor's solid. He's not sexy, but he's solid. So I think he's a possible pivot. And Doc Redmond, who we talked about on the betting show, I think Doc could be back. I want him to be back. So I don't know how much of that is like me just wanting Doc Redmond to be back, but I like what I saw out of him at the Players. And you got to feel like for a guy who kind of like lost it for a little bit, because he was good there for a minute. I mean, I talked about it on the betting show. He's got some top fives under his belt. He's been in the heat late on a Sunday and lost it, but then he lost his game for a while. And for a guy like him to come out, at the Players, and honestly, I don't know how in the world he got into the Players, to be honest with you, but he finished 26th, and I gotta feel like Doc's looking back at that and going, "Hey, he's looking in the mirror and going, I'm Doc Redmond. Like, look at this mustache. I'm Doc Redmond. I finished 26th at the Players. I gained 6.7 shots ball striking. My ball striking's back, bitches. So y'all better watch out." Like, I feel like Doc could do that. So I think he's a little bit of leverage too in the 7K range.
Do you know what the thing that Doc reminds me of with like being back and kind of like, you know, growing that mustache? It's growing your grass, DB. I mean, if you're growing your grass, you need to be like, you really need to be on point when you're growing your
That's
grass.
smooth,
okay?
baby.
Because it is hard. Okay, it's hard to grow your grass correctly. All right, you're worried about all those chemicals you're using to keep your yard looking its best. Traditional lawn care lays down 90 million pounds of pesticides each year. I don't think Doc Redmond's putting pesticides on his mustache. But look, Sunday is different. Okay, they're on a mission to change how people care for their yards. Okay, Sunday is it's one of those companies that they want you to grow beautiful lawn without the guesswork of the nasty chemicals.
Yeah,
Okay,
they do.
their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn, and with ingredients like seaweed, iron, and molasses. Okay, you can feel good with kids and pets being around with those type things, because those aren't chemicals. Those are ingredients. I like to say they're
Ooh.
ingredients for your grass. They're not chemicals for your grass. Okay, so all you have to do is visit getsunday.com, put it in your address. Wait, is there?
Put it in your
Put in your address,
Yep.
and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. Then they use They then use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. All you got to do, by the way, when you get this thing in the mail, you just attach it to your hose, this little pouch thing, your garden hose, and you spray it. It takes less than 15 minutes. You
Oh
put it
yeah,
all over
spray
your
that
lawn.
hose. You just
You spray it. So you spray that all over your lawn, okay? And best of all, this stuff really works. And Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off, okay? Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/junkies20. That's full season plans, DB, okay? 20% off of your custom plan at getsunday.com/junkies20.
beautiful, man. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's a great job. All right, let's get to the 6K range, Pat. We've got we got a lot of names in here. I don't know who I've really landed on here yet. I'm not a huge fan of the names in the 6K range. I will say just a couple of, weird ones that kind of hit me a little bit. Uh why am I into David Lipsky? I didn't mention him on the betting show. $6,800 David Lipsky, seemingly I don't know, it seems like a kind of a tough course kind of grinder.
Yeah, I don't mind that play
Am I
really at
saying
all.
that because he cut his teeth on the Euro Tour? I don't know. But he's played in a bunch of like WGC events in the past. He's played in a bunch of
He
Open
grinded on the
championships.
Corn Ferry some too, I believe. Like he's
Yeah, he's a winner on the Corn Ferry Tour. Bunch of top fives and top tens on the Corn Ferry Tour. Eighth at the Palmetto last year, which is definitely kind of a grinder spot. 14th at the Amex this past season in January. But I mean, he's coming off. I mean, he's made. Let's see. He's only missed 2 cuts in 2022, and that's in 7 events. It's not bad. I don't know. Lipsky seems like a little bit of leverage for you. A little leverage Lipsky. I might go back in on a guy we talked about a couple weeks ago. Where is he? Putnam. I know he's coming off a couple missed cuts, but dang it, why is he checking so many boxes? He's still checking boxes. I might go back in on Putnam. He's not done well here, but I don't know. Maybe I won't. Matt Naismith is another one I like. I like Naismith, and I like Danny Lee. I mentioned him on the betting show.
yeah.
Lee Naismith. Lee Naismith. I like Lipsky. I probably like Lipsky, Naismith, Lee, Putnam. That's it for me right now.
I'm
But
kind of
the
surprised you didn't
6K play
mention Hank
shakes out in the
Lebioda.
nut. Yeah, I like Lebiota too. I was trying not to name everybody, but we'll hit the 6K plays quickly in the Nut Hut this week for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a couple. I think Troy Merritt makes a little bit of a sense here, just because
Amish Troy.
I mean it's just a course that Troy Merritt could do well on. Vaughn Taylor, by the way, it's 6,700. He's another guy. Vaughn and his Canadian cousin Nick Taylor, both of them, I think, could have good weeks this week. Another one that popped a little bit for me is Graham McDowell, coming off that 13th place finish at the Arnold Palmer. This is a good fit for him as well, so I like him. And that's probably about all I got. We'll get into these, maybe in the chat tomorrow night.
Yeah, chat tomorrow night. We've also got the Prize Picks announcement. I'm being a company man tonight. I'm rocking the Prize Picks stuff, which we really love. We give our Prize Pick selections on the betting show as well as the Fantasy Golf Sommelier, which is not happening this week because of the short week. There's just some weird stuff going on. So no FGS this week, but we dished it out on the betting show, and we'll obviously be in the Nut Hut talking it up, making a lot of money on Prize Picks. And grateful to Prize Picks for sponsoring the Road to Augusta contest. We went into full detail on the betting show, but we have drawn a winner, and the winner is Steve Smetana, also known as
Smetana.
Schmitty88. He is a Nut Hut member. He's a Tour Junkies email subscriber. He subscribes to the Chalk Bomb and the Heavy Petting email. He's a great dude, longtime listener. He's bringing his son. It's their first time to Augusta National. I'm excited. They're excited. Pat's excited. Prize Picks is excited. We're all excited. It's a great contest. The Road to Augusta is going to be amazing. Thank you to all who played. Thank you to Prize Picks. We're really having a lot of fun over there. Now, just because the contest is over doesn't mean you can't sign up for Prize Picks. If you use promo code TJ, and they're legal in like 20-something states, like 26 states or something, 28 states. If you use promo code TJ, you get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. It is the best legal way to play player props. They're legal in California, Florida, Texas, Georgia, all kind of places. Daily fantasy made easy. All you got to do is pick 2 to 5 players to hit an over or an under on their projections. You can win up to 10x sometimes of your entry. It's just you versus the numbers. It's not you versus a bunch of people and other. You got to be strategery and all that. You ain't got to do that. And you can do mixed sports. So you can bet like the NBA and John Rahm to do something, or maybe Terrell Hatton to do something. Maybe over under how many times he flicks off a hole. You don't know. We don't know. But you can do that all on PrizePicks. It's safe and they offer fast withdrawals. So go to PrizePicks, click the link in the description below or the YouTube description below as well, and use promo code TJ when you sign up. Road to Augusta, awesome contest. Pumped to have it. Don't forget to leave a comment as well for the Masters t-shirt, your Instagram or Twitter handle. We've got the DP World Tour podcast coming out this week, wherever you listen to podcasts, and on this YouTube channel. Our boy Mark Hill's breaking down that action. Garrett Simmons is back for the Corn Ferry Tour. He's got some intel on this course in Louisiana. He's pumped about it. He's caddied it before. He likes a lot of names here, likes a lot of bombs here. He's telling me he's about to hit a bomb. That's what he's saying. That's what the young kid's saying, but he's a little overconfident.
Okay.
That's
All
kind of how
right.
he is. That's the Corn Ferry Tour pod this week. That'll be out soon, also on YouTube and wherever you listen to podcasts. We got to wrap it up with the 2-minute men, Pat. 2-minute men lineup build for DraftKings. Now, we didn't do this last week because we had a lot going on. We had Nut Up or Shut Up. But we've, we're due to hit a good one here, I feel like. So the lineup is up there. We got the clock about to start. We got to have some disagreement up here. All right, Pat, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go. Where do you want to start?
I think we got to start with Victor Hovland.
I'll give it to you, but I don't want to. So you owe me. I don't want to. If I was going to go that high, I'd go to Justin Thomas. If not, I drop way down in the 9Ks. Then you have to give me. You're not going to give me Fitzpatrick because we got a bet against Fitzpatrick. Shoot, I don't feel good about any of this. Russell Knox.
Okay.
8,100. We got to hurry. Norin, Seabez. I don't want Hadwin. Too chalky. Wise.
How about
Okay. What are we doing?
Denny. Go down to Denny.
I'll do Denny. What about Nick Taylor?
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Right. So now, what about? Ooh, this is tough. I like Seabez. I like Wise.
Why not go down to like
We gotta hurry.
Kazire,
Ooh.
and then you get to go up to. See, I don't want to go to Fitzpatrick. All right, we gotta go.
Where's Kazire? Oh, here he is. So then that puts us at 92. Ooh, we gotta hurry.
I don't like where that. I think you got to go below 7.
I don't mind Kokrak though.
All right. Well, let's do that then.
Oh, hold on. No, you got. Oh shh. Oh, hold on. What about Lowry and then Lowry and then Danny Lee?
All right, Danny Lee. I'll take it.
Oh, we barely made it. Okay. All right, Victor Hovland at 10-8. Shane Lowry at 9-7. So we went pretty chalky there. Russell Knox at 81, still kind of chalky. McCarthy at 74, so maybe. Our leverage is Nick Taylor and Danny Lee, which is scary as all get out. So we didn't do the best there. We rushed. We were too slow.
That could be a good sign because this typically doesn't end up.
That's true. All right. There you go. There you have it. That is the 2-minute men, and that is our show for the Valspar 2022 DraftKings. Don't forget to comment your Instagram or Twitter handle in the YouTube comments. Give it a like. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening on podcast, please give us a review. A 5-star review would be very helpful, especially leading up to Masters. It's an easy, free way for you to help us. A lot of people are going to be looking for stuff like, content like ours come Masters week. If you can leave a review, that'd be really helpful. Give us 5 stars and write something nice. We'd appreciate it. All right. Especially you, Mr. Blue, whoever you may be. Pat says you're not being a nice guy. Prove him wrong. We got the betting wheel. Fitzpatrick, answer, head to head. Loser has to what? What are we doing again? What do we spin?
Some
TikTok
Applebee's
dance.
TikTok.
Applebee's TikTok dance. All right, there we go. May your screens be green. See ya.